Peace, this is King Noble Black Supremacy. And I want to say in this particular video that you must look at every aspect of everything that happens in your life within the context of revolution. This is what makes you a true revolutionary. It's funny how we can all talk about Marxism, we can talk about communism, we can talk about socialism, we could talk about Che Guevara and Hugo Chavez, and we can talk about this kind of revolutionary idealism, that we're good for speaking on that and deliberating on that and intellectualizing on that. But we can never put our very own day-to-day life experience within the context of revolution. That's what makes you a revolutionary. That's what makes you a revolutionary strategist. That's what makes you strategical. Your ability to look at your life and put it within the context and the perspective of revolution. Everything. A lot of times people have a problem with me because I've been effectively doing that with my videos. I've been taking some of the most situations that have been looked at from the most Christianized perspective, from the most westernized perspective, the most conservative fundamentalist Christian perspective, and I've been taking these things and putting them within the context of revolution. If you want a revolution to happen, you have to have a context for it to exist, and you have to have a basis for your perspective or your perception of what is going on in your life in order for you to be able to interpret it in a way where you can see the revolution taking place before you. You're going to have to. Everything in your life. Everything must be interpreted from the context of revolution. You can't just be looking at it from some nigga shit, some day-to-day shit, some coincidences, some just happenstance. You can't let daytime television and sitcoms define your life or put your life in context. You must add a revolutionary context to your life. You must see how society, the social situation, the social economic situation, and every aspect of every condition of us being under white supremacy affects every aspect of our life. And every situation must be interpreted in a way where we can identify the rebellion and the resistance between us and white supremacy with what we're going through on a day-to-day basis. If you're unable to do that, you will lose focus about revolution. And you'll get caught up into some regular, mundane, common man perspective, layman perspective of perceiving what's actually happening in your life. This is a fact. You have to put everything within the context of revolution, everything within the context of a resistance struggle of the black man in America for power, independence, freedom, and liberation. Everything must be put in that context. That way you will be more effective. And you can make it add up, and you can utilize these situations. You can derive the meaning from them and utilize them in a way that can be progressive, in a way that is revolutionary, where you can educate more people and find unique solutions to your problems through perceiving them within the context of revolutionary struggle. That way you can have victory, you can have reward, and this will energize you. This will give you more power, more momentum, and more motivation to triumph it through these different circumstances and conditions that you are going through in life. This will help you by understanding the revolutionary context of the situations that's going on in your life. They can be applied to everything. Nothing that we're going through or doing, or no circumstance or situation that is going on with the black man in America today is outside of the context of revolution, is outside of our struggle for power, our struggle for liberation, our struggle for freedom and independence. No one situation is minuscule or insignificant or irrelevant to the fact. So your job to keep focus, to keep your mind aimed where it needs to be, your job is to put every situation and circumstance within your life within the context of revolution. The smallest situation, the smallest confrontation must be reinterpreted so that you can win this victory and triumph it as a true black supremacy revolutionary. That's a fact. The white man has taught you how to look at your situations, how to be a victim of your own people. The white man has taught you how to interpret your total reality in a way that works for him. He's give you an interpretation of your experiences that works to keep him in power, to keep him needed, to keep you dependent on him. You have to have a radical shift in your paradigm and throw away his perspective and his interpretation of all of reality, and gain a black supremacy revolutionary context to your reality and to your situations. This is the type of enlightenment that is going to be needed for revolutionary change. It's going to start within your mind. It's going to start within your very own consciousness. This is something that you have to do. Throw out the white man's paradigm and the white supremacy perspective of reality altogether, and gain a black supremacy revolutionary context. And you can do that by constantly watching my information, constantly watching my lectures, constantly developing your mind, studying revolutionary books, revolutionary information, listening to revolutionary scholars and speakers, saturating yourself with this information to the point that it changes your perspective, where now you can identify and interpret every experience within your life within the context of revolution. This is King Noble Black Supremacy. Join my website, www.kingnobleBlackRulership.com, and donate. Show your support. Get a subscription. We need our own medium in order for us to express our words unhindered, uncensored by white supremacy and its institutions. That's what www.kingnobleBlack